Hi, true and beautiful soul. Welcome to Talk with Tab. We are continuing our Yama talk. Um, Shouting out this book every time we talk about a Yama or Niyama. We are on Yama number 3, which is asteya, non-stealing. So non-stealing is more than just like physical stealing, like I'ma steal your purse. I'ma steal your money. I'ma steal your man. I would never steal someone's man. I ain't about that life. I don't want no man right now. But for real, y'all, let's get into it. One way of stealing from others is if you start to have like an outward focus on somebody else. So if you start to pay attention to somebody else's life and you start to compare yourself, like y'all's lives, like you compare your life to how they're living, maybe that brings jealousy or resentment, or you're just focused on so much lack that you have within your life, and you're sending that negative energy to that person. And when you do compare yourself to others, you can either find yourself lacking, of missing out on like what they have, or you find yourself superior to them, like superior, like you live in a better life than them, or like, oh yeah, they did this but I did this. You feel me? So that's just negative energy that you're putting on others and also within yourself. And sometimes when you're living vicariously through others, you start to like manipulate them or like try to manage them. And in this book it says to build your own sagging ego. I like that they use the word sagging. I thought that was interesting because you are trying to build your ego when you're trying to like manage that person's life to try to make it better, to make yourself feel good. And sometimes when we're like so focused on somebody else's life, we try to one up them. We try to like be more superior than them. We try to be better than them. Like if they're telling a story of a vacation that they went on or a trip that they're planning and they're going to go on, maybe we just like totally take that moment away from them. And then we talk about our trip or our vacation we're planning. Oh yeah, I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like that lowers the value of their conversation. And now we just took the conversation over. So that's stealing from them. And another way to steal from others is by not paying attention to them. If somebody's like trying to have a genuine conversation with you and you're like up in your phone or up in your head, then you're not fully having a genuine conversation with them. You're stealing from them, from like them coming to you like, hey, I want to talk. And then you're just totally not 100% there. That's stealing a little bit of their time. That's stealing like their attention, their value. We tend to have an outward look into other people's life when we're unhappy with our own life. So check in with yourself sometimes. If you feel like you're paying attention to somebody else's life and you're thinking like, oh man, they have this, like I want that, I want this, I want the life they're living. Take a step back, notice, and then remember to be grateful for what you have. And focus on what you have instead of focus on what you lack, so that you have like the higher energy. If you have lack energy, that's like low energy. You don't want that energy because you don't have a high chance to receive like more abundance, more opportunities, because you're such in a low vibrational state. So focus on gratitude and what you do have. When you start to focus on the moment and focus on the life you have, and no more outward focus, you're like inward focus, you're focused on all the greatness that you have within, then you start to have more genuine conversations. You start to be more supportive to people. And that's such a great life to live. You start to feel like more happy. You don't have to manage someone else's life because you're too busy managing your life, your best life. And we need to be genuinely caring for each other and genuinely listening to our conversations. And one thing that I like that's said in this book is always be lifting people up. And there's a couple questions to ask yourself. Does the other person feel uplifted and lighter because they have been with me? Or do they feel like something precious was taken from them? So when you're out with your friends, do you feel like you give them positivity, love, and light? Or do you feel like you take their positivity, love, and light? Do you feel like you take their moments, you take their conversations away, you take their opportunities, or you take their success story, you take something from them? Do you take something from them or do you give? Do you give the full awareness, the full attention when they're conversating? Do you give genuine advice? Do you give genuine support? Do you genuinely care? Those are some questions to ask yourself that'll help you tap into your highest self and be a better person. One thing that this book says is, imagine what would happen if each time we took something, we gave something. I was like, whoa, when I read that, I was like, wow. Like, if I didn't have something physical to give, then I would give, like, my respect. I would give my genuine time. I would give my full focus, full attention. I would give love and light. I would give a hug. I would give a smile. I would just give any kind gesture that fits right for the moment. I feel like those are the things that I would give if I were to take something. You know, if I took someone's time and they helped me with something, or I vented and they listened, I want to give my thanks. I would just, honestly, giving thanks is giving thanks, giving gratitude. I think that's magic. You're giving magic when you give genuine thanks to someone. So even just giving a thanks to somebody, I think that's beautiful. So, like, I'm going to try that. I'm going to pay attention to, like, if I take something, I'm going to give something. Another form of stealing is stealing from the present moment. And sometimes we do that when we're too busy thinking about the past or worrying about our future. We're stealing from the life we are living in the now. And we're just too busy thinking about maybe what we don't have, or what we want to do later, what we want, how we want to live our next 5 years. Is that something that's so, like, that I feel like is common, is to be asked, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I used to be so proud to answer that question. And now I'm like, I don't want to answer that. I just want to be so focused on where I see myself now. And with this power of now, it's going to take me into a beautiful future. And I trust. I trust this journey, and I trust this moment. And I'm going to rock with it. So I'll focus on the present. No more stealing from the now. Some ways that we steal from ourselves is when we do some self-sabotage, when we lack belief in ourselves, when we have low self-esteem, when we have judgments about ourselves, when we criticize ourselves, when we demand perfection of ourselves. Those are ways that we steal from ourselves, because this steals our vitality. Judging ourselves, criticizing ourselves, being mean to ourselves, shaming ourselves, like that steals a little bit of our life force. We're stealing from all the greatness that we have within. No more self-sabotage, no more low self-esteem, just more confident queen, confident king, confident magical being. And that brings it all back to focusing on yourself. No more focusing on others, focus on yourself. Attend to your own growth and learning in the areas of your own interest, and whatever brings you joy and brings you happiness, focus on that. Do the things that you know are going to uplift you, even the challenging things. Do whatever's challenging, have fun doing it, because it's all about you. You're focusing on you. And when there's a better you, there's a better universe. There's a better world and environment around us when there's a better you, because you're true to you and you radiate that authenticity, you radiate that uniqueness, you radiate that beauty of being you. And that helps you tap into your fullness of life, the fullness of your talent, of your skills, of your passions. And when you tap into your fullness, you're automatically serving the world instead of stealing from it. I feel like this is said a lot, but it's so good to seek out mentors and people who have done what you want to do, the people who are already accomplished the things that you want to accomplish. But of course, you're going to accomplish them in your own way. But it's good to have help from people who have been on that path, and who can help guide you onto your own path. A few notes that I took from my school's book, my Vinyasa practice, my yoga school. They also have some notes on the yamas and niyamas. And one thing that I took a note of was, do not take anything that's not freely given. And I love that. Like, that is sitting with me in my heart, because even when, like, if I want a flower from a bush, I I remember to ask that flower bush, like, may I please have you? And that I used to do that often, and then I forgot. And then just rereading my book and reading that, it made me feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, like, I've been forgetting to ask the earth if I may have the flower. And it's just a simple, like, may I have you? May I take this flower from this bush? Just know that Mother Gaia, the earth, is going to feel so grateful that you asked. And then when you do take, remember to say thank you. Be thoughtful of other people's times. If you show up to somewhere late, I know life happens, right? And we show up late to some things that we need to be early for. If you're on time, you're late. That's a phrase that I love as well. I always love to be early to things, and sometimes I have been late. But I've just, like, learned and I've grown, and now I'm more early to things. But if you're late to something, just know you're stealing from somebody else's time. So be mindful of that. And then if you go over time on something, asking for consent to extend the time a little longer, that's also so great. And that's not non-stealing. That's not stealing someone else's time if you do go over because you asked. And if they said yes, that they would love to, be happy to, and you can move forward, have that over time, and no issues. You're not stealing. May we practice non-stealing in all the ways that we can think of. And may we give thanks to ourselves, to Mother Gaia, to all beings, and pull that awareness outwards to inward. Focus on you, not your neighbor, not your bestie, not whoever. You. Thank you. Peace and love.